SpaceX is set to buy 130,000 acres of Louisiana marshland, and it could change everything for Starship launches. SpaceX is set to acquire 130,000 acres of marshland along the northern coast of the Gulf of Mexico in southern Louisiana, according to a report by the Times-Picayune. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry is expected to officially announce the agreement later this month. The site is an 18-mile stretch of land southwest of Lafayette, known locally as Pecan Island. This has been building for months with persistent rumors, but now it is moving toward a real deal. The scale of this acquisition is massive, and it signals something big for SpaceX's future launch operations. So how did this land become available in the first place? According to the article, Pecan Island became accessible as part of a legal settlement that resolves dozens of lawsuits blaming ExxonMobil for pollution and coastal land loss in the region. The company has been sued over environmental damage, and this land transfer is part of the resolution. That means SpaceX is essentially stepping into a site that was previously tied up in litigation over ExxonMobil's impact on the Gulf Coast ecosystem. It is a unique situation that opened a window for the launch company to acquire a large coastal parcel that would otherwise have been difficult to assemble. The rationale behind this move becomes clear when you look at SpaceX's ambitions. In May, the company said on X that they intend to launch Starship a lot, targeting thousands of flights per year. That kind of cadence requires the ability to launch from many different locations, both domestically and internationally. Right now, SpaceX has 2 orbital launch towers at Starbase in South Texas and 2 more in Florida at Cape Canaveral, but both of those locations are largely built out or congested with other launch companies. The Louisiana site offers a fresh, undeveloped coastal location with plenty of room to scale. The Louisiana location offers several distinct advantages that make it attractive for Starship operations. It sits close to the intracoastal waterway with deep-water access, which is critical for barging in massive rocket components. It is relatively close by barge to SpaceX's Starfactory facility in South Texas near Boca Chica Beach, meaning the existing supply chain can extend northward. The southward-facing orientation also provides potential access to polar orbits, which go north to south rather than the west to east equatorial orbits. Polar orbit access is particularly valuable for data constellation deployments and is something that a Louisiana site enables naturally. Louisiana also sweetened the deal with legislative incentives. Earlier this year, the Louisiana legislature passed bills that included a package of incentives specifically for aerospace companies. These provisions include liability protections and property tax breaks. According to the Louisiana newspaper report, the agreement with SpaceX will also include provisions for coastal restoration and preservation of the sensitive marshland along the northern Gulf Coast. This area is important for wildlife and also acts as a natural buffer for hurricanes that regularly impact the region, so the preservation requirements add an environmental layer to the deal. The article points out that there are limited expanses of undeveloped coastal locations along the Gulf of Mexico and southern Atlantic Ocean in the United States. Both Starbase and Cape Canaveral are already heavily used. Starbase is where Starship is built and tested, and Cape Canaveral is one of the busiest launch corridors on Earth. Adding thousands of flights per year to either of those sites would create significant congestion. A third major launch region gives SpaceX operational flexibility, redundancy, and the ability to launch in different orbital planes without being bottlenecked at a single location. The Reddit community has mixed reactions. One commenter noted that the land became available through an ExxonMobil pollution settlement, which is a positive angle. Another pointed out that the deal requires SpaceX to preserve and restore a significant amount of wetland, effectively shifting that cost to the company rather than taxpayers. But others are skeptical. One commenter cited Elon Musk's current use of unpermitted gas turbines at his Colossus 2 data center, questioning whether a Musk-owned company will follow through on environmental commitments. Another highlighted Louisiana's unique property tax exemption system, where a state board can exempt corporations from local taxes without local government approval, costing local governments roughly $16.7 billion over a decade. A few commenters noted that the busiest launch site on Earth, Cape Canaveral, is also a wildlife refuge, suggesting that SpaceX operations and nature can coexist. The official announcement from Governor Landry is expected later this month, and once the deal is finalized, this Louisiana site could become SpaceX's third major launch region alongside Texas and Florida. It would give the company access to polar orbits, deepwater logistics, and hundreds of thousands of acres for future expansion. Whether this becomes a thriving launch hub or a quiet launch site depends on how the coastal restoration provisions play out and whether SpaceX can scale operations without disrupting the marshland ecosystem. For now, it is one of the most significant real estate moves in commercial space history. Thanks for watching Orbit Reports. If you found this interesting, hit subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching Orbit Reports. If you found this interesting, hit subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments.